Hi, and welcome to another episode of Kuntarkis. My name is Michael Yon, and this episode is on the pineal gland. So here's Kuntarkis.
I want to talk about something we were speaking about it yesterday. It's the pineal gland, right? And I just think it's a very, very important subject for humanity, the way we are today. Just to give you a bit of background, if we look, we look at human history, if we go back past 928,000 years ago, there were certain bloodlines that seem to always be in the seats of power. Now, a lot of them were alien. Then, as we went through existence and we got into basically the human evolution, you had the Aztecs, you had the Egyptians, you have the what is it called? The
Mayans?
Mayans, yes, right? And they all seem to have this particular power of dominance over their society. And apparently, when the pyramids were being built, which were done by the Ilias, which is from the planet Taurus, when they actually built them, they also gave certain types of technology when it comes to the spiritual self. And that's still called technology, not in, like making a ray gun or things like that. It's just about the spiritual self to grow as a race, because the Ilias were helping humanity to grow as a race. And for instance, the Egyptians, they just wanted more and more power. The Aztecs, the same thing. But the Egyptians, they used what was given to them as how would you say, as something they could dominate all their people and keep the people down while they grew consciously in their own awareness. And this, apparently, through bloodlines, has continued throughout human history right up until now. And it's still the same thing. Interestingly, the elite criminals have kept us dumb through stress, anxiety, bad food, poison food, all the pharmaceutical companies creating toxic poison in all their drugs, their medications, creating medications that were illusion, creating diseases through vaccinations. Now they're putting all the poisons into all the children's vaccinations, causing autism, like, a 29%, 34% rise in autism all around the world. I think 1 in 5 babies that are being born will turn out autistic. And yet, what's more interesting is, why aren't the governments doing anything about it? Why aren't the governments taking the fluoride out of toothpaste, out of water? Why in Australia 37 years ago, or 39, why did they allow fluoride to be put into drinking water? Anyone with half a brain that would test fluoride would know that it's a high-ranking toxin. And it does a lot of negative things to the human body. Two things: it has encased the pineal gland, which is one of the most important factors in the human body for spiritual awareness and connections beyond the body. The second is making the body sick, attacking the nervous system. That's what fluoride does. And over a 20-year period, you end up bedridden. So many people, mate, are ending up bedridden all around the world. So many people are suddenly falling dead. There's suddenly a thing about the athletes in America, especially. Thousands have died, have literally fallen dead on the ground because of the vaccinations. And they're trying to keep it as quiet as possible. And it's interesting. And yet, the pineal gland, if we could unravel the pineal gland from its encasement, and we could learn through other people how to use the pineal gland to literally connect to the mind. And at the same time, send messengers of light out in through the universes. We could connect with other super races and even make physical contact. And yet, the elite criminals, they know this. They know if they allow people to become open with the pineal gland, they will lose control. And that's why they've created all the toxic poisons that are in our bodies today. They've created all the human diseases that are within the body now. They've created all the misery and pain through wars, children dying, parents dying. And you've got to say, why isn't governments around the world doing anything about it? One answer. 194 governments signed an agreement with the World Health Organization to do exactly what they tell them. Keep the people down. Keep them dumb. Don't allow the pineal gland to be active, because if it becomes active, suddenly a whole new world opens up to you. Two things. There's two things that I know of. The first is vitamin C. The second is zinc. Vitamin C, in its most natural form, will help break down the encasement of fluoride. With the zinc, it'll help more. No one ever talks about it, but it works. It might take 6 months. It might take 12 months. It depends how much good water you're drinking. But if you're drinking tap water every single day, all your water plus also your tea or coffee or whatever you're making, well, you're going to keep encasing that pineal gland, and you'll never ever grow consciously. And that is 100% true. So the secret to life, to break free from all those negative things that have distracted us, we have to open up the pineal gland. And we need to find ways of actually opening it up. The first thing is, don't drink the water out of taps. Don't use fluoride toothpaste. And start to drink more natural clean water, and start to actually have pure vitamin C and pure zinc, because they are available. We just got to do the research. And the other thing to cleanse the body and to dispose of all that casing that will break down from the fluoride, we need activated charcoal. Because fluoride is like a metal, and it'll be attracted to the actual activated charcoal and get locked in its little webs and get thrown out of the body. And that will help us become more aware, especially self-aware.
Yeah, so how do you get your natural zinc?
Your natural zinc, well, natural zinc is normally created through other nutrients in the human body. But if you do research on the internet to find natural zinc and natural vitamin C, there's one big answer: quinine. If people look up the word quinine and how to make it, it's so simple. And I'll just give you a quick idea. We have mentioned this, but let's do it again. All you do is buy some pink grapefruit, like say 4. Get 4 pink grapefruit. Make sure the skin is smooth and shiny, not the ones that are sort of really rough and got little pit holes in them, because they have too much skin and not enough of the fruit, because you're going to eat the fruit naturally, which is also an enhancement of vitamin C. But you peel it. and you use as much of that white stuff under the skin as possible when you peel it. Then you chop it up into little squares, and then you put it into a big saucepan that's got a big, what do you call it?
Strainer.
Strainer. Thanks, mate. Thanks. Strainer. And I bought this one. It's quite a large pot, and it's got a very large strainer in it that fits perfectly all the way down nearly. And it's probably got a gap underneath it of about, say, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches. So you cut all your stuff up, your grapefruit, into small little pieces of skin with the white stuff. Put it into that. Then you get, say, 2 or 3 oranges. Do exactly the same thing. Cut it all up. Then you get, say, 3 or 4 lemons. Now, with the lemons, you can peel it or just cut it in slices about a 1/4 inch thick, chop it up in squares and throw it in, all of it, because lemon is really high in natural vitamin C. But make sure you sit the products into a sink full of water. Maybe the water should be a little bit warm, not hot, just warm, enough to activate the skin to swell a little, so all the sprays actually come off the skin. That would be good. Yeah, at least 1 hour. Let it soak in water. When I say soak, I mean the whole fruit, not the cut skin. So put the fruit in there first, soak it, then wipe it, then cut all the stuff off. And you put it onto the actual stove, and then you boil water. And you probably have a kettle about 1.5, 1.7 litres. And in these large pots, you can take 4 litres or 5 litres of water. And you put it all into there hot. You put the lid on, and you turn it on very light until it starts boiling a little. When it starts to boil, turn it down to the lowest setting, whether it's gas or whether it's electricity. And let it looks, when you look at the water, it looks like it's just trying to bubble. Leave it for 3 hours. You'll lose probably about, say, 1/2 to 1 inch of water through that bubbling process or that steaming process. That's okay. After 3 hours, turn it off, open the lid, and put one of those clear strainers on top so nothing can get into it, but the heat dissipates. And once you do that, you've got to put it into bottles, glass bottles or plastic bottles that have that thing on it called BHP, is it, or BH something? It's
Like a stronger plastic bottle that's more durable.
yes,
Yeah.
more durable. And there are bottles and even water bottles that have that little symbol on there, which means it won't leach plastic, and that's very important. But preferably you can buy 1 litre bottles, and they're glass with a lid on top, which has got juice in it, and you can keep them after you've drunken all the juice, and you can pour your quinine into that and put it in the fridge. And just drink, say, 1/2 a glass every day. Or if you've got a litre of container that you drink your water out of, put 1/2 of the quinine in there and the rest, the water. Put it in the freezer for a little bit or the fridge until you get it nice and cool, and drink it throughout the day. And what you're getting is a tremendous dose of vitamin C, natural.
Very good. And then what about the zinc?
The zinc, well, I haven't looked it up myself, but I was told by an entity, natural zinc will actually help break down fluoride, the casing, because it goes sort of hard and it just sort of seems to dry off a lot when it's around the actual pineal gland. But the actual zinc will help break it down and disperse it. And then if you actually use activated charcoal once per week for a month, and then once every 2nd week for the rest of the time until you feel better, what you'll notice when the casing around the pineal gland begins to break down, you will suddenly feel that you want to do more things with your life. you will suddenly feel more inspiration, whatever it may be, whether it's music, whether it's writing, whether it's art, whether it's to do with your job. You'll feel more inspired and you'll want to do things. And the longer your life goes on, the more inspiration will actually start to formulate within you and around you. That's why I'm always riding a cloud. And that's, yeah, I am. Because ever since I've been here, I said this yesterday, I think, ever since I've been in this body, the last 54 years, I've been working on myself. So that's 54 human years. It's a long time, really, that you can work on yourself to develop yourself. I develop myself through meditation. I develop myself through words, being vocal, by saying things like I said yesterday, I am light, created from light and manifested into a physical body. Just find the right words that are 100% positive and say them every day. You will change the way you feel and see yourself. That is 100% guaranteed. But then you've got to give up all your bad habits. When it comes to foods, comes to alcohol, smoking, drugs, you've got to give it up if you want to grow consciously. So when you're old enough to have children, or whenever you have children, you can pass on positive characteristics through your genetics to your beautiful children.
Yeah, and like you said, it might only take a few minutes that you just say those affirmations. It's really powerful for the entire day.
Very powerful. If you believe it, and you have to believe it, believe beyond all doubt. And the other thing I would say, read Entrapment, the first Entrapment. And when eventually my other books get published, and that's Entrapment. No, sorry, that's Entrapment, The Pathway to Freedom. Then you've got Entanglement, The Long Journey Home. Then you've got Dream Assassin Volume 2, which is a very knowledgeable book. I've made that far more knowledgeable than Volume 1, as well as The World Conspiracy, which is Volume 1 also. So once they're published, those books will inspire you. And if you are cleaning your pineal gland, you will then be more inspired by positivity when it comes to books or anything else.
Right, yes.
You'll see things so differently, Michael. Your eyes will just look into the clouds and your imagination will suddenly, it'll just expand. And you'll say to yourself, wow. And you'll look at life differently and you'll look at people differently.
So you reckon with activated charcoal, eventually you just go back to doing it once every fortnight, did you say?
Yeah, once every fortnight.
Mm.
You know, for the first month, if you've never been on before, take it once a week. But make sure you drink, you mix it into a full glass of water, say a teaspoon, a little bit of a heaped teaspoon. Make sure it's stirred up well. Be very careful. Don't go erratic with it because you'll have powder everywhere and it's black powder, which it means it'll mark everything. And once you drink it, try to have another half a glass or a glass of water. So it helps flush out your entire inner body. Because I'll tell you now, mate, I'm not joking. Look, I'm just saying this because I know the truth. What has been done to us is so criminal. The governments should all be doing something about it, but they're not because they're part of the Illuminati. And they're listening to the Illuminati. And the Illuminati is Satanism, very evil. And they have been murdering millions and millions of our children. And that's wrong. They need to be perished. They need to be got rid of, put down. Because if we don't, as I said before, if we don't, they're going to put us down. Because that's what they're working towards.
You're still thinking 2028 to 2030 we're going to be in a lot of trouble?
If we keep going the way we're going and we don't learn to stand up, yes, we're going to be in a lot of trouble.
And standing
And if
up.
you look at, yep, standing up, mate, or standing up, coming together as a people worldwide, forming massive groups, and ordering the governments to get out of Parliament, right? Ordering and getting people who are intelligent, people who are just normal people who want to actually help people, and don't have governments anymore. Have councils where you don't have governments living off the people in such richness all the time, and also not making hundreds of millions of dollars off the people because they're in power, because that's what happens. That's their whole objective. If Albanese was a real prime minister working for the people, which he's not, he's working for the Illuminati, he would actually make it so houses are affordable to rent. We wouldn't have hundreds of thousands of people around Australia living on the streets because they can't afford to live in a house, and that's so wrong. They're doing that on purpose to create massive stress and anxiety in people, to upset people, where people become thieves, and we have so much horrendous crime. So we become dependent on the stupid government who's working for the Illuminati, the elite criminals.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's terrible that they make us dependent on the government
Yep,
after wrecking
that's
our
what they're doing.
lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people are too silly to actually see it because of their pain, their misery, the amount of deaths that are occurring, the amount of sick people that are occurring, everything. It's all that stress that's causing us not to see the actual issue that's being created by the World Health Organization. They're going to come out with another pandemic soon, mate.
Oh, yippee.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the one that's going to hit around the end of 2028 or 2029 or even 2030. It's just incredible. They're going to do it.
Is this the kind of thing that Bill Gates is really looking forward to?
Yes. He's one man that governments, they should literally arrest him, hang him publicly to show the world this is what we do to people that do that. Bill Gates has killed millions. Klaus Schwab has killed millions. The entire elite criminal situation with the families like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, have killed millions. And yet, no one is waking up. All the vaccines are toxic poison. They've got graphene oxide, which is now nanotechnology, controlling people. People are being controlled, but no one seems to understand it. And eventually, it's going to become massive. Massive. We have more crime than we've ever had in, say, 100,000 years. Today, the crime is horrendous. It's being created to cause unrest, stress, anxiety, fear. So we become reliant on these so-called pathetic governments who are working against us, not for us. So in reality, mate, we can't trust even governments. We can't even trust doctors because there are so many doctors that are hiding all the deaths and also all the murders in hospitals. It is massive around the world. They're ordered to put those people to death, the ones that were on life support. So you've got to ask yourself, who the hell do you trust? Well, the answer is simple. Learn to trust yourself first. And then look for people who have a heart. Look for people who want to help. Not for people who are greedy. Because all they want to do is make money. They don't care about anyone except themselves because of their emotions that they experienced when they were a child. And that's what they've turned out to be. Because as we spoke yesterday, cellular memory. It remembers from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime because it gets stored within your cellular structure. Yeah. So it's quite amazing. But that's what life is, mate, and most people don't understand it.
And they would if they were to cleanse their pineal gland.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They would actually see the truth. Yes, 100%. They would see it. They would see it. You've got to clean your body out so you're not clouded. And the people who reject it are clouded. And they can't go beyond that cloud because of their fears and their conditioning. And that's what people have become because of all the lifetimes that they have suffered emotionally that's been stored in their genetics. And they're probably being born through the same family lines, through the wheel of life. Or I should say the wheels of life.
This concludes another episode of Kuntarkis. If you'd like to find out more about Kuntarkis, find his website, which is etcconsciousness.com. He has articles there, he has his books listed there, and also if you have any reason to contact us in general for any reason, just email kuntarkis@gmail.com. That's it for now. Thanks so much for listening. My name is Michael Yon, and stay tuned for more.